Harihi Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Good morning. Any quick revision about Nakshamika? About Nakshamika? Quick revision. Anything that you have understood? Yes.
It is a first given medicine. It's called
Hmm?
Nakshamika characteristics are little bit disciplined, impulsive, uh,
Hmm? Then what else? When you say Nakshamika, how do you remember that person to be?
More systematic.
Then?
Overthinking kind of.
Hmm? Then what else? What actually indicates Nakshamika? Nakshamika is a successful man or a failure man? Yeah.
Cannot take failures.
Yes. Anything else that comes to your mind?
Over intelligence.
Hmm? Then? What else? What does he like to eat? What else he likes to drink? Who likes coffee? Who likes very spicy food? All this, it should be like, tips. Okay. Today we'll get into a new medicine called pulsatilla. It's called Pulsatilla nigra, the full name. There are certain questions about Nakshamika. I'll answer it after this class. So now we have studied one medicine which predominantly indicates a very dominant, very aggressive, impulsive, very successful. He is kind of oriented only to his work. Now today we are going to see a different medicine who does not have any of this. Your questions I'll answer at the end of this class. Okay. So today we are starting with a new medicine, Pulsatilla, exactly opposite to Naxomica. So Naxomica, when we dealt about the emotions of Naxomica, it was more of, he being successful, nothing else other than, it being like that. But the Pulsatilla's, boundary is very small. Her, her people, that's all. That's all is her world. She and her loved ones. So we will look into how this, it is usually called a predominantly a female remedy because we see a lot of sensitivity. Sensitivity to what? Sensitivity to emotions. The placement of camera is there only. I mean, I can't see them. Hmm? Her boundary is this, her emotions and her people. Now, who is her people? Who will define that it is their people? She will only define. Usually, it is when in the childhood, it is only her parents, nobody else. Usually, her parents. And when she comes to an adolescence, it is her friends. Then after marriage, it will be her husband and her kids only. This is all is a limited world of Pulsatilla. Now, what is that she wants? See, Naxomica wanted success. Naxomica wanted growth. Naxomica wanted a name in the world. What does Pulsatilla wants? She just want to be loved. We'll start this from the pediatric age. Now, how do we see that the kid wants to be loved? Every kid wants to be loved, okay? But what is so special about Pulsatilla? Now, when you look at a Pulsatilla kid, they look very fragile, very soft, you know. When you look at them, it feels like, okay, I only have to do all the work for them. That feeling you get it, not out of, some trouble or a problem. But when you look at that kid, it feels like, okay, this kid is so soft and so mild. Let me do everything for them. And they will be like that. You can assume her to be Pulsatilla also. Okay, so mild, so soft, so sensitive, and anything. For example, they ask, "I want a chocolate." Okay, you have still not said no to the chocolate, but the energy that the kid feels that you are going to say no, it starts. It will start. Any small instance to cry, they are the first one to cry, and they will not cry like loudly. Their cry also will be very soft, very mild. You don't feel like scolding back when they start crying. There are kids, when they start crying, you are like, they have to just stop. You know, they just shout, fall around, move their hands and legs. There are different kinds of cries. Okay, every time you read a medicine, you will get to know there are different kinds of cry. So here, when the Pulsatilla kid cries, it's like, okay, you will feel like going and consoling them, and till the time you go and console them, their tears will not stop. And it cannot be any random XYZ person. If the mother has changed the tone, mother only has to go and console. And consolation not just by words. You will have to take the kid near, console them even with a physical touch. That is what the Pulsatilla expects when it is crying. So imagine this particular situation from 2 years to 80 years. In the kid, it is all fine, but imagine the same nature goes off in adolescence, after marriage, when you become a parent. Then when you become grandparents, it is very difficult. So they want to be loved. Whenever you have small kids, no? So in Tapona we have a lot of babies. One day when program was going on, others. So what happened? The mother of the baby was sitting. Another baby went and sat on the lap of that mother. That mother's kid was playing somewhere else. Immediately, the kid saw that someone else is sitting in the lap of her mother. So fast, she came crawling from there. She sat on the next one side, the other baby was sitting. She sat on the next leg. She didn't push, nothing she did like that, but she made space for herself and child. See, this is the insecurity the pulsatilla always carries. So, like how we understood the success had consequences, the pulsatilla's emotion also will have lot of consequences. You would have seen, many people, they would have lost their husband many years ago. But every time when you meet them, if at all you take the name of the husband, they'll start crying. It will be 5 years, 10 years, now 15 years down the lane. When you talk to them anything about their husband, immediately they start crying. They all belong to the pulsatilla category. In pediatric age, you get very good examples of observing pulsatilla. For example, they have just left the baby here. The mother has just gone to bring a glass of water or something. Immediately, the kid starts searching where the mother is. And how do you identify a pulsatilla kid? They will be always holding on to the hands of the mother or the dress of the mother. Either it will be, the top or the dupatta or the sari. Always it will be holding on to it. In the other end, usually it will have a toy, teddy bear, something, some soft toy. Now, what is the meaning of this holding is by holding, they feel very secured. So their world is very limited. They are not that kind of people. Okay, I have got my friends group. Bye, dad. Bye, mom. They're not that kind of the kids. They're always with the parent. If the parent want the kid to go and play, they also have to go and tell, I'm standing here. You please go and play. That is how attached the pulsatilla kid is to the parents. See, pulsatilla is predominantly a women remedy, but that doesn't mean we don't have pulsatilla men. We definitely have. Okay, so you will have to see this kind of signs and symptoms in both. See, just because a man is coming, we should not rule out pulsatilla for the reason the gender is being male. It can be there in both of them. But when they have done a drug proving, the maximum number have been proved on a women. The kid always needs to be consoled. Every time the kids start crying, the parent should be prepared to console them. Yeah, right now talking about just the kids. Then we will move on to the adolescent and the adults. And what kind of games the pulsatilla might like?
Indoor.
Indoor. Then
Something like after somebody to play with.
it will be restricted to, kitchen play, teacher and student play. I am mom, your kid, such kind of play. They are not outdoors. These people, you hardly see them outdoors. They will go outdoors only if someone in their house they like are doing it. Now, for example, the dad is going for swimming. Then the daughter will go for swimming, or dad is playing badminton, daughter will also play badminton. The entire life of Pulsatilla is she keeps changing herself to that person who the loved one wants. Now, for example, she is a daughter of someone right now. The father wants her to be in certain way. She'll mold herself completely like how the mother or the father wants. Then when she gets married and go, because she likes her husband, she'll entirely modify herself to the liking of the husband. Then when the kids come, she will again modify herself. So that is why this medicine is called to be the most changeable medicine. So symptoms are also like, if I am getting pain in the right hand in the morning, the pain can shift to left hand by evening. The pain can shift to right leg. Like that, the symptoms are itself called changing symptoms. So there is no, fixed kind of symptom. Okay, I get cough only at 2 o'clock. It is not like that. I might have cough in the morning, might have blocked nose in the night. It is very changeable. The entire personality of the Pulsatilla is highly changeable. See, it is made out of a flower. It comes from a plant kingdom. Pulsatilla comes from a plant kingdom and it is made out of a flower, and flower looks very beautiful. Very beautiful, very fragile. Okay, so there is a person called Rajan Shankaran. If you are all aware of, he is a homeopathic pioneer. It's called Rajan Shankaran. So how he has studied homeopathy is, he has taken up the gross physical matter from where the medicines are made, and he has understood the nature of that particular thing. Like how we have, periodic table. So we have many medicines coming from mineral kingdom. So he has studied everything in the periodic table and understood the nature. Like for example, we have medicines coming from snake group. So what is the nature of snake? What are the natures of snake? Very fast moving. Then yes, then
And straight.
it is never straight. Then it cannot tolerate heat. That is why we see a lot of snakes coming out in summer. It cannot tolerate someone holding it tight. It is double tongue. So all the medicines coming from the snake group has all these symptoms, meaning there are medicines called lachesis, naja, many more. So in lachesis, what happens? That person cannot tolerate heat at all. He cannot wear a collared t-shirt. Now you are wearing a collared t-shirt. Lachesis cannot wear. He'll keep two buttons open because it constricts. He will not wear a belt because he doesn't like it tight. He never talks the same things to two people. If he has two friends, what information he gives him, what information he gives the other, it will not tally. And venomous, poisonous is, they are very toxic. So if you study the source, you understand the medicine. That's how Rajan Shankaran has come up with the study. So anything, whether you take Pulsatilla, now Naxomica was done from a substance called poison nut, which was used in olden days. They used to, make it a powder and make people drink whoever had a food poisoning. So they would completely vomit out or have loose motion. Now that is again used for now medicine poisoning, no? So that's how we need to correlate. There are medicines from, fish. There is characteristics of fish. Then there is a medicine from milk of cow. Then we have to take the characteristics of cow. There is a medicine from milk of goat. All that we have milk of dog. So then there is a medicine called hydrophobium. So when a dog bites, usually if the dog is infected, that person cannot look at water. They will have fear of water. It is called hydrophobia. So there is a medicine called hydrophobinum, which is given for such people, which is taken from infected dogs. So when we understand the source, relating to medicine becomes very easy. Now coming back to Pulsatilla, she always want to be loved. Weeping tendency is highest. If you get into the repertory book, no, there any weeping you search, okay, Pulsatilla will be there next to that weeping. They are the first one to weep for anything and everything. That day, the father comes very tired home. He doesn't intend to hurt the daughter. But when she says, "Good evening, dad," the good evening does not come in the usual tone. That is enough for her to sit and cry. Many times, the parents have to keep wondering, what is that we have done that this girl is weeping? Change of tone. They will tell, "You're being so rude to me. You need to be very polite." And one very good thing about them is anything they feel, they express. Yes, sir. Totally. Till the other person understands it. They will not leave. This expression itself starts becoming a problem in many families. See, because for Nakshamika, none of this is important. Now imagine Pulsatilla getting a Nakshamika husband. What happens? Her world, his world doesn't match at any point in time. So if Pulsatilla is a wife of a Nakshamika, how Pulsatilla life will be is Nakshamika will start at 8 o'clock. So she wakes up at 6 o'clock, gets the lunch box ready, then everything ready, because for her, love is doing what the other person wants. So she will, cook everything, keep it in order, keep his laptop bag ready, everything will be ready. That's how the Pulsatilla's life keeps on going. In return, she'll be just waiting for, okay, well done. That should come. But if Nakshamika forgets that's no, then it is a problem. That's how we have so many combinations of medicine, because of which we become patients.
This weeping, so some people are very sensitive and very happy, they start crying both, not just for
You have happy things, you will weep. You have, little sad things, you will weep. You have extremely sad things, you will weep. For her, weeping is one thing that comes even with respect to when they come and sit in front of the doctor. No, we ask, okay, what is wrong with you? That's it. I have this huge pack of tissues in my cabin. It will be kept in the very easily accessible drawer. Every time I get a new pack, my employee will ask, "Why are you getting this, ma'am?" I said, "I have a bad habit of making people cry when they come inside, so I need to give." And believe it or not, within a month's time, this entire pack gets over. They are very impressionable. So, in the pediatric age, how do you understand this?
like the dress well.
If a kid likes a teacher in the school, okay, the teacher will be, dressing in one way. Yes, no? The kid will come and repeat the same thing. If teacher has an accent, English, when the kids go to nursery, play group and all, they learn by imitation. So if the teacher is doing, some kind of act, they start imitating that kind of act because they like that teacher. Similarly, they are very impressionable with how the mother is feeling, how the father is feeling. So this impressionability is what keeps her changing. Her loved one keeps changing in entire life depending on the stages of life. So that impression goes on coming. See, when you take this in the adult also, okay, these people are highly impressionable for extremely religious act. Now, for example, they don't have a family. Let's think he is following some teacher. That teacher has told something. Hook or crook, that will not change. They will have, very strong and determined impressions like, okay, men are bad. So they stick with that impression that for rest of life, men are bad. Because something happened sometime which they noticed, but they did not understand. Okay, so the world is not a nice place to live. All these assumptions they carry because for them the security means our father, her husband, her house, nothing else. Everything else seems to be very insecure. Similarly, that impression can be otherwise extremely, what do you say? Person who does not believe in God. It can be, any extremes, and managing these extremes is definitely not the task. This impressionable has a lot of things. Now they get a friend. Whatever the friend says remains in the mind. The parents will not be able to change that impression from the mind of that kid. So they're highly impressionable, and that is why they are very changeable. We see many groups now today, ISKCON, then Shri Ashram, so many. So each one believes in their teacher, what the teacher is saying. If these people are a student of to any guru, no, they will be extremely, hardened in every word that is told by the teacher. They don't apply their own, common sense or practicalities. They don't apply. It is told I should do. Now, small example. We have this concept of Tuesday and Friday making, chitrana or puliora and then offering it to God. Now, why that habit has come? Someone has told sometime. We don't know. Now, what happens if a lady of the house is pulsatilla? Every Tuesday, Friday, you will have to eat lemon rice or puliora. Because she has to keep it to God, she will do only that. So they're highly changeable. So they keep changing, meaning they're highly unstable with their emotions. She'll be all fine. She makes friends with someone. That friend starts poking in. Every day your husband is coming at 10 o'clock. Do you really think that till 10 o'clock there is work in the office? Now she does not have her own thought for herself or her own understanding for herself. Now 3 times, 4 times that lady keep asking the same question. What will happen? Few times she'll say, no, 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 my husband is not like that. But again that lady will ask the same question. Now what will happen? She starts thinking like that. So that's how they are very, very impressionable. You should take this both for positive things and both for negative things. Similarly, that's how the kids in the adolescent age get into habit formation. Whether you call it a relationship, you call it some habits, you call it, extremely being devoted to God, doing fasting, doing that seva, doing this seva. All this is highly possible with pulsatillas. When is Pulsatilla disappointed? She would have built her own castle in the air. As long as everything is going well in the family, she is being loved, she's got value, she's being getting attention, everything is fine. Now suddenly something changes in the family setup. Either she loses someone of her loved ones, or she is, insecure of something else, or she's been cheated. Something like this happens. That is when she gets into the mode of disappointments. And once she gets into that mode of disappointment, she usually comes back. If that person comes and shows lot of love and care towards her, she comes back. But if it is gone out of that, we see an entirely different personality of a pulsatilla, where you won't even know that this lady is pulsatilla. See, her she doesn't want to go out, she doesn't want to work, because she's happy taking care of her husband, her kids, her parents, that's all. Usually if you ask this kind of people, no, they are not career oriented. But all this career orientation and all will suddenly flare up if she is disappointed in life. Disappointment, I'm not talking about small ones. The person to whom she had given her entire life suddenly is not there. or suddenly has cheated her, or suddenly something has gone wrong with that particular person, then there is a flip of personality in the pulsatilas. Then only we get to see medicines like sepia, platina, all these kinds of things. We see only when the pulsatilla is very disappointed and then she thinks of changing herself. That's how we have the evolving of the medicines that is happening. Any doubt till now?
Interesting. So, how does the external appearance be?
They're very fragile, soft looking.
The sense society, that's kind of,
They,
like
they present,
we speak as bad, that's why becomes, how do this?
she will present however her husband likes her to present. Really. If the husband is of a very sophisticated person, for her the entire world is husband. So she would want to do something that makes her husband happy. She's not bothered about, okay, what the world is thinking about me. If the husband wants her to be in a traditional, she will present herself in a traditional attire. But she's not like messy, dirty, nothing like that. She always presents herself in a decent way. But according to whose liking, it is not according to her liking. It is according to whomever she loves, that liking.
Significant person, more it is.
Yes, yes, it can be anyone. See, if father is everything to that pulsatilla, let's say. However, the father wants her to get dressed up, she'll get dressed up like that. Even their achievements also will be like that because they would love their grandfather. Because grandfather wants them to become something in life, they will become that. They have no personal choice of their own. Next.
Is there a possibility that the pulsatilla can also become that sort of
Yes. After that, these people who will be least interested in career, if they have had a bad marital life, you will see them as one of the best successful women in the career. That's why when we take the case, I always say, ask the past history. See, though that lady is looking like Sepia today, at some point in time she'll be pulsatilla, no? That we need to understand. Yes, there is. Yes.
is also like J.K. Rowling.
Then these people are so impressionable that when they are reading a story, they get into the story, and when something happens they start crying. There was one girl who came to me. She was reading, I think, Harry Potter series or some other series, and in that something happens. I have not read those books, so I don't know. In that something happens or someone dies, something. This girl is sitting and crying from evening till next day morning, no sleep, nothing. Then her mother got her to the clinic, saying she's been so disappointed and she's been weeping. I asked for what? Then she said she was reading some book. In a book something has come which she was not able to take it. That kind of people these people are. They try to imagine whatever they read, what in the movies. Okay, see, practically what we know, the director has given a story and someone is playing it. That's how we take. Pulsatilla, if something is happening to the loved ones in the scene, here you will have to give handkerchiefs. I have a couple of them around me on daily basis, and they always say it is better not to watch movie with you because I don't appreciate their weeping during movie. They'll keep weeping. My mom also keeps weeping. I say, okay, one kerchief to you, one kerchief to you. You keep watching. You know it. It is already directed. It is given a time lag. They cannot take it like that. The practicality, the utility of common sense is zero to these people. And there is a medicine called Calcarea carp. They also want to be loud. They also have a weeping tendency. They also have insecurities. What is the difference between pulsatilla and Calcarea carbis? Calcarea carbs are more independent. They use their common sense. I mean, they can handle, given a situation, the Calcarea carb can handle. This pulsatilla cannot handle. They will get an husband on whom they will be entirely dependent on. Want to buy veggies? Have to go with husband. Want to do some other shopping? Have to go with husbands. And it's not that they cannot do. They don't want to do, because that time with the husband will be lost if she starts doing on herself. I mean, the psychology of any human being is very mystical. Why she does not want to do? She starts doing, the husband will say, you please do it by yourself. She doesn't want to do it that way. And when sick, okay, no matter which doctor comes, it will not help. The husband has to come and ask, okay, how are you? Are you fine? You see, like that, mothers also. I had a case. The mother was doing well. That particular day, out of shortage of time, the son has just left to the office and forgotten to ask the mother how she is doing on that day. And all the parameters have changed on that day. Tell me how to what extent these people are troubling their mind and body. Here, when you compare with Naxomika, there is not a single thing that matches with Naxomika. So that is to say, when you look at a human being, you definitely can understand that this is not the drug. Anything is there in Naxomika that I have written in this circle? Then tell me what a combo. That's how, Joshi san always used to teach. Naxomika is an husband, Pulsatilla is a wife. Next medicine will be chamomilla. It is a pediatric medicine. And chamomilla is a kid. That forms a wonderful family.
So what is the two Patsatilas possible? Can be possible.
Can be. She will modify entirely to how a Naxomika wants.
No, both Patsatilas. Plan right.
Then I think both will have a tank in their house.
But it is always like considered to be like the females will be pulsatilla.
Nothing like that. We have treated many cases of man also, but during the drug proving, 92% is proven successfully on the women. So when we do the drug proving, what we do, we take Pulsatilla and we give to some 20-50 members. Both ladies, gents, kids, everyone. So the result that we have got is, it has proven more efficiently on a women than on men. That doesn't mean that there are no cases of men being Pulsatilla. There are definitely there. I have seen a lot of them. There are there, but this is a predominantly a women medicine. Naxomikas are also there, women. But there, the percentage of Naxomica given to a woman is lesser than men. All medicines, there was one insomnia case that we cured with Pulsatilla 1M. It was a male patient. Or there can be chamomilla adults also. So it is only said that it is, for a larger scale, it is given to a women.
Only that
Chamomilla? No, Calcarea card you need to compare with this. Chamomilla, there is no match to Pulsatilla. Chamomilla is the most irritable kid possible in the. So when you see Pulsatilla kid, no, you feel like going and taking that kid, pampering the kid, making it play. If you see a Chamomilla kid, you will decide from the distance, I am not going to take this kid. They will want this marker. They'll keep crying, crying, crying. The moment you give this marker to them, after a minute's time, they are bored of this marker. Again, they start crying that they need that fan. You will give that fan. Within 2 minutes, that fan will be in different parts, and they are bored of it. And if they want you to carry them, hook or crook, you have to carry them. They will keep their both the legs like this. They will not get down. If you try to put them down, no, both hands and legs will be like this. It will never touch the ground. No matter how many minutes you try to do that, they will not. Entire night they will cry as kids. And you will have to put them here and keep walking, keep walking. Only then that kid goes to sleep. And thinking that, okay, they have slept, let me put them back in the bed. You do like this, again their cry starts. So many times when we were studying about chamomilla, if any baby used to do noise in the next house, I used to think I'll go give chamomilla and come back. They are so irritable and so mischievous. It's a plant medicine. Chamomilla tea and all it's there, no?
To the kid, the chamomile is given now. Like the kid is believing in that way, and the chamomile is given now. So he will be like calm down.
He'll calm down. So sleep cycles will get better, but that tendency will not go. See, we can only reduce it. We cannot change what has come as a tendency, but we can at least make sure that it is not out of moderation that the kid is shouting, crying, and doing all that. He will remain chamomilla for some years, but tendency and all will come down.
People that hospitalized and the whole world of inclusion, right? So it also means that she is like introvert.
She's introvert, but she's very expressive to her family members. She will introvert to a stranger. To a stranger, she is introvert. But even a small pain from the kid, from the mother, she'll make sure to tell them that this is what has hurt me from you. She's very expressive, but she's very close to the strangers. So you would have seen, see, when you go to schools or when there is a PTM or when you are standing just in the bus stop to drop the kid to the school, each parent will be talking in a different way. If you observe how Pulsatilla talks in the crowd, no, their topic will be if she meets a parent who is of a kid's classmate, entirely the topic will be kid school, kid school. She never can talk about any current affairs, nothing. Wherever you go, she'll say, my husband is like this, my husband bought this. See, telling that also is making her feel secure. For my birthday, my husband took me there, we traveled here. Other than that particular circle, no, first two sentences will be different. From third sentence, she'll again come back to the same thing. You can observe all this. See, why I'm giving this kind of examples is you people will be around many students' parents. That's how we have to, catch medicine in the crowd. See, nobody comes and tells me, okay, I am Pulsatilla. It's very difficult. Here we are discussing one medicine. So it is seemingly easy for you people to, actually understand. But when you have 20, 30 medicines in a row and, people keep coming, how will you select? So that's their talk also is so much, dedicated to the family. Sometimes we will only get bored. Why this lady talks only about this kind of things, nothing else. And if it is a friends group, she's so much busy in telling about her emotions only. And till her emotions are set right, she will not get into any other conversations. She cannot understand anything. See, if you apply the same, all these logics to a very old people in the house, no, it is very difficult to manage them. Now, for example, we have our grandmother or something, or your mother-in-law or her mother-in-law staying there. If they're always worried about their own emotion, there is nothing else that they see about someone else. Now, for example, say today is Shashti. Okay, Titi, Shashti, they have to do Subramanya Swami Puja. Now, you have that kind of highly orthodox women who they don't eat, they don't let others eat. How do you manage with such kind of practical problems? And always you would be seeing, there will be many mothers, okay, they would have lost their husband, but son will be there. Every time son goes, they will tell one or the other problem. It is not because they have a problem, it is because they want the attention of the son. Many times pulsatillas you take to multiple doctors, nowhere they feel better. The problem is not with the medicine. The problem is the moment you say they are fine, that special attention what they are getting from their family members because they are sick is gone. I have seen this in many single mothers who are living with their son who is married. Very difficult. And then if they want to be consoled always, when they are kids, we can console them. How will husband even realize that wife is, hurt for some small reason? And when will they have time to console? I'll tell you one scenario. There was one couple who used to stay with near our house. So they got married recently. They used to come and go to my house. Then one day the lady has made puris. The puri has been a little oily, typically an Nakshamika husband. Okay, what he has done, he's taken that puri and put it in the dustbin that day. He went off to office. The lady landed in my house, crying, crying, crying. Okay, you cry for 30 minutes. Entire day till morning breakfast to lunch in front of my mother. Auntie orang ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದಿತ್ತು auntie. Auntie orang ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದಿತ್ತು auntie. Which husband will remember that he has thrown puris to the dustbin? That's why she has a, stolen face in the night. You tell me, with this kind of environment, who remembers this? And if they are in old age, you have to take care of their health every day. Ask them about it. Sit next to them, take care of it. See, this is nice medicine to see also, but it has its own practical problems. See, now why at all we are discussing medicines? Anyone who wants to be loved, all of us want to be loved. All of us cry. Don't we cry? Many times we cry. Something is so touchy, in front of us. Definitely we cry. Don't we have insecure feeling? That's why we have so many PFs, SIPs, that, this and all. We are very insecure about future. That's why we want a house, we want a car, then we have health insurance, life insurance, everything. So all of us are insecure. All of us like to be, asked, okay, what's wrong with you? Now, when are we actually giving medicine? When this goes out of proportion. Yes, everyone cries, but the cry has to stop after some time. If it is not stopping, then we think of medicine. Ambition everyone should have. Over ambition needs to be treated. So you need to know, okay, just because you're seeing all this in one person, if you think, shall I put pulsatilla? No. Any of this should be causing problem to her.
Balanced.
See, all this being in a lady, pulsatilla lady agreed. When should you give pulsatilla?
Yeah, it's out of.
When any one of this is out of control, or she is coming up with certain physical health problems because of any of the emotions that is coming from here. And they'll be very particular about being acknowledged. Now, she's got a new saree, she has owned the new saree. Husbands, men, if you ask me, their memory is not useful for such kind of things. She'll be waiting, she'll be, roaming one time, two time, three time in front of husband. It never strikes to the man's mind, okay, I need to say the saree is looking very good on you. Now, this is all what she is expecting. Then we need to have phosphorus as husband, best match for Pulsatilla, because he is also like this. And, if you have gone in a function, the husband is talking to someone else for a little longer time. Already here the fear starts. She says, shall we go? Shall we go? Here we are discussing with a lot of fun. But when people come to us and tell, no, I'll tell you a case where every time the man traveled out of station, okay, the woman was capable enough to check where that man was traveling, with whom that man was traveling, and where was the accommodation, on all such things. How do you analyze that particular lady's mind? Is this not too much? Is the possessiveness not too much? These people are very, very possessive. They'll make sure to show the third person that I am the wife of that husband. How? Let's take an example. You have all gone out, okay? You are taking a coffee or something. All will order coffee. Okay, I want coffee, I want tea, something. That lady will say, whatever my husband takes, I will take half in that. That's where you strike a pulsatilla. Now, why is this happening? Some people will do for saving money. You need to understand that also. But some people want to show the others that I am sharing everything half with this particular person. And in front of us, they are like, whatever he says. whatever he selects, there are two kinds of people who do it just in front of us who are like that. We need to filter that out. But they definitely do like that. You know, the physical contacts, the physical touch, all this will be exorbitantly shown by pulsatilla ladies. Now, if you talk about sepia, platina, calcarea cups, natrium, they're not like that. They'll be in the outer world as though he is one human being, I am one human being. But this person is not like that. See, all this, why I am telling this is not given in any textbooks. But for us to find out that medicine, these things are very important. Leave alone everyone. If you locate one pulsatilla in your house, that's a successful story. One Naxomica in your house. House doesn't mean only 4 members in the family. Anyone, your friend circle, your immediate other family, like your parents, grandparents, and all that. That's how we should be able to, locate these people. Any
So, go to kids, mostly kids will be like, vegetarian, you could correct it also. And you also told that the change of drug might happen when you respond. My point was, is there a case where a child was considered not, but growing to adolescence or adult, without any disappointments, there
yes, naturally also they evolve. Yes, it that is what. See, at some point in time, if the teacher becomes the most, inspired person for pulsatilla student, let's say, the teacher induces a lot of, ambition, want to do things. Then the pulsatilla changes accordingly. See, pulsatilla can become anything, even the best of the scientists. But why they become comes back to, okay, they have given some lot of importance to one person in life who have guided them like this. They will become saints also. They'll become fashion designing. They are, just, very erratic kind of people. But it all depends on who is asking them to do. Take this photo.
So, is it possible that, because all these things, symptoms, also when somebody goes through depression or anxiety, some very strong person, but after say mother passed away, they go into this whole keeping. I've seen that some people like that, they become very insensitive, they want somebody else. So during a phase of depression, somebody comes, is it okay to give pulse?
If symptoms matches. See, depression, Ignatia works, Natromure works, Arum metallicum works, okay, Pulsatilla works. Now, in Pulsatilla, usually it is not depression. It is overtly telling their symptoms. See, who will go into depression is someone who cannot actually open up. That is not at all a problem for Pulsatilla. Problem will be with the next person because they are overly expressing it on daily basis. I'll give you an example. One lady had come with a slight blood clot near the legs. Then asked what happened. Accidentally, the daughter has pressed the hands on the legs, which has caused that blood clot. Nothing much happened. No swelling, no discomfort, nothing. Okay, this is the state. The lady has come with the daughter, son, husband, everyone together, and she's in tears. Something has happened to my leg. Please take care of my leg. They're, over expressive, meaning there are people who wouldn't even tell you that there is a blood clot because it is not giving any trouble to them. As a doctor, I cannot laugh, I cannot be silent. See, that is a way of expression. They will make sure that you are reminded that her leg is not well. So here, depression will not come. That, too much of crying, like that only they will come. They will term that to be a depression, but we will have to ask the signs of depression. Now, Natromure depression, he'll just cut off from everyone. Doesn't even come, one tear also will not come for Natromure. He will not tell he is not fine. He'll just be, but when we look at them, we know he is not happy. Anything you ask, I'm fine, ma'am. I'm fine, ma'am. There is no problem. Ignatia, she'll still fight out her depression, but you definitely can see her that she's not happy. But she's not like Netramure. She involves herself in, everything, does everything, you know, evolves in career. Everything happens, but she's not happy. Aram Metallicum, you will know they are in depression. What happened to you? Yenide life ali. That interest of being alive itself is zero for Aram Metallicum. So in depressions also we need to see. First is cause. Usually cause will be sudden loss, business, people, anything. So with that we will have to see, okay, what kind of personality they are having.
Should nature look at nature of them?
Yes, should match.
Thanks.
In the previous case, so she came with the husband and kids everybody for the law. So is it because she want to, show that feelings to her husband that I have like problem?
For her, anything small is very big, sir. So that's why she has called everyone saying that to be a major problem, and then got even doctor was not necessary for that particular problem. But for it is so expressive. See, she can be calcarea carp, she can be pulsatilla. But both have this kind of symptom. She'll always come with her husband, yes. Not just this. Anytime a pulsatilla visits a doctor, she will never agree to go without husband.
You said she will take half a cup of coffee or something like that. Is this only outside or even
Inside also.
it is not just to show others.
It is to show, because by showing this she feels very secure.
So in house it is not different.
While making only she'll sit with the coffee with him, no? See, you being Pulsatilla's husband, you lose independence. Because you cannot do what you want. And that's how each person is put into pressure. See, when we were taking classes in Whitefield, we used to, talk out of fun. So I used to say, what is marriage? So marriage is that duration of life where you are something and you change. Because, example, I like all light colored dress. Now a person comes and then says, what you're wearing everyday light colored dress, and he will like dark colored dress. Now what happens? Suddenly there is a shift in my cupboard, because every time we go for shopping, he likes a dark colored dress and I keep buying. And suddenly there is a hit around 40-45 years of age when you realize that you are not what you are. Okay, then again the rewinding starts. Now again you come back from all the dark shades to light shade. By then life is over. Yes, no, we are all doing all this. But this process, when we accept and do it happily, doesn't cause a friction. But otherwise, I had like pink, he got me blue. I had like pink, and this goes on for everything. It's not just the clothing. Food. I wanted to prepare upma, he asked dosa. And with husband, it is one part. Next, kids, two more parts. Then in-laws, four more parts. Now, the ability of the mind to get adjusted and molded is what makes us disease free. Now, what happens every day morning, as soon as you wake up, the instruction starts either from mom or from mother-in-law or from husband or from kids. This is like this should be like this you should do. Now, what has happened unknowingly, subconsciously, the mind has got into a reactive stage. So some react by shouting, some react by being silent, some react by using mobile or something, some react in different ways. Yesterday only I had a case. The person doesn't sleep till 5:30 in the morning. From 5:30 if he sleeps, he'll wake up somewhere in the 10:30 or 12. He has to log in. Now what he does when he does not sleep is he keeps doing research on different ideas. Now the wife is very worried. If he does not sleep, what if he end up with a heart problem? Now if I ask him, why are you doing this? He says, me time. What should I say? He said, madam, I have sick parents in the house. It takes a tall from me to take care of them. Then I have a company which is putting so much of pressure. I get me time after 11, he says. I say, okay, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock maximum you see and then you sleep. He says, it has become an addiction. If I open laptop, I will just not stop. How do you suggest such people? What medicine to give? Which medicine you people have studied? Why Naxamika? He's not doing office work. He's doing some other unrelated. He will do research on disease and come and tell me. He will do research on all the new tests that has come in the world. He'll sit and never his consultation gets over in 1 hour. He'll come and tell this is what has come, this is the cause, this is how they do. I'm trying all this. Suddenly he will do some research on diet and suddenly he'll stop eating. He was very fat. He has become very thin by doing some research, some diet. Why not, Samika?
Me time.
Me time. That frustration is unable to release. That is why it is a temporary escape into the world of research. I told him, stop the laptop, get into activities like either swimming, badminton, or football, something where your body. He says, even after doing all this, I don't doze off during my office work. I don't doze off in my cab. And how active his mind should be. That is one way of getting into depressive states. You had a question. Done. I'll clear this. Yeah. Have you people seen her walking? How does she walk? She keeps her foot as though it should not hurt the Mother Earth. That's how the pulsatilla people move. They hold the spoon such that the spoon should not get pain.
Child is born normally, other than something else. But overprotection, overcare, taking care, possible. They can become.
Very possible. Now, what happens, when us, for example, if you have not been given that time, that love, your wish will be that you need to give that to someone else. Now, what happens because you have not got in from the previous generation, you are ready to give now. Many parents, they say that whatever difficulty we have faced, I don't want my kids to face. That is the logic in India. Okay, so now what you will do, even before the kid wants something, you are already given them something. Now what happens, that also becomes a pampering. Here, that comes with the environment that the kid is there. But innate nature also should be there. No? See, because you are pampering, I am getting pampered. Okay, now what can come out of pulsatilla things? The same will be an expectation from the husband. But being soft, being gentle, weeping tendency and all that should come in genes. And this will also come because one of your ancestors might have pulsatilla characters. No? See, pulsatilla lady will not give birth to Aksamika or something else. There will be a combo, father and mother, but still that part will be there with the kid. So somewhere it will be a combination of pulsatilla and something else which becomes one more medicine. Yes.
Sleeping is a medicine that we see the general symptoms. But after symptoms, and how to take it.
So when you get two medicines very close, usually we use the generals, meaning thirst. Now you have pulsatilla and one more medicine. Pulsatilla by nature is thirstless. You never get to see them drinking water. Someone scolds, they will only sip water and then they go away. they're generally thirstless. So you have one more medicine in comparison. You have to check whether it is thirsty or thirstless. Now let's take both are thirstless only. Next, what you have to do is thermals. See, pulsatilla is usually ambithermal, meaning they like open air, they like cold wind and all. So they will be more sensitive to hot than cold, pulsatilla people. Even when the baby, no, you put sweater, topi and all that, within 5 minutes the pulsatilla kid will remove everything. You put bedsheet in the night time when you put the baby to sleep, the bedsheet will be outside. They don't like to be covered. But because they have lot of cold related stuff, no, we keep covering them. So that also you have to see whether they are hot sensitive or cold sensitive. With that you can, then is modalities. What is aggravating the problem? What is ameliorating the problem? You have to check. You will know. See, for example, when pulsatilla comes, pulsatilla, calcarea carb, natrum ignitia, bryonia to some extent will be very similar. They have their own differentiating factors. You will have to see that and give. But if your constitution is matching this, but your generals are not matching, please go with the same medicine. Mind should match first. Total mind should match. Then don't look into any other factors. If the mind is not matching, then we look into other factors. Highly unstable. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Why this highly unstable is coming in? What is making them highly unstable?
Because they are changing
Why are they changed?
because of the person.
Insecure.
Highly unstable because they don't have their own personality as such or the principles on which they work. So I say something, it changes. Someone comes and says there is some temple, it seems, no, in Kumbakonam for diabetes. I heard many people saying that. I don't know. If you visit that temple, they say that diabetes can be cured. That I saw even in WhatsApp things running and got calls from relatives. Now, if it is pulsatilla, she'll definitely believe that. No. Yeah. That's how they are. They keep changing. So, for example, if the mother is pulsatilla, let's say, previous day the kids will say, Amma, tomorrow we will prepare upma. Okay, she'll be with that. Suddenly, husband will say, "Een upma ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಬಿಡು, you do something else." Okay, he will give some other thing. There will be no, those two items will not be there on the dining table the next day morning. Because she'll be in so much of confusion, she will do something else on. And whenever someone is taking a decision when emotionally disturbed, the decision cannot be right. And every decision in pulsatilla happens when they are emotionally disturbed. So it does not serve the purpose. They are very rigid.
Is there a study on what kind of professions they do? Like this seems more like large, creative kind of.
These people will be more into place where you show love to people, meaning, children's teachers, play home teachers. So usually they don't want to work, but now you don't have an option. So they are very satisfied being at home, being a homemaker. They are very happy about it. But because of some inspiration from the loved ones, they will prefer something where the human touch is there. You can see them as doctors, you can see them as counselors, you can see them as teachers. Where that human relationship is high, no, these people will be there. But it's a problem because they are emotionally not stable. Yes. They prefer to be, as lazy as possible at home and be at home. I see a lot of falsettinas being like that. And it will be rule on Sundays, no cooking. They are unstable, but they are rigid. How is it possible? Why should they be rigid?
Because I fixed my thought on something. Because I believe in this person, he said it is true, it is true.
When they come to the adolescence, no, for example, because these people are very mild, very fragile, no, there might be a chances of, someone being physically abusing to them or vocally abusing to them. And if anyone goes through such kind of situations, no, we see, many people during school age, such things happening, and they are very, very impressionable in their mind, because of which they will have very rigid thoughts like men are not good. I am very religious, that's why I should not get into any activities of sex, and that they will not even let go even after marriage. In such things, they are very rigid. This rigidity is not, in other things, but in rigidity is at the thought plane. When they decide something, it is like that. Many pulsatilla kids, if you observe, they don't go to male people. They only, play and go to women's. So generally, they will have a little kind of aversion to men. This you will see in all the books written. Now, why it comes is someone, because she is so sensitive, someone even, thrashes her with the scoldings. That is enough for her to decide that, okay, this particular person is not good. She does not have the understanding that given this situation, what they have done is correct. No. It can happen many times even with her own father. See, mothers are very compassionate and patient. Not that fathers are bad, but because fathers vocally show that, no, they will be kind of shut off towards their father also. You can see pulsatilla who don't have a very compassionate husband will be very close with the kids. Their entire life will be, okay, my kids, my kids, my kids, taking care of them, doing the best to them. But she'll be just close to the husband. This all happens when multiple number of times she's been hurt from that direction. Any doubt? Fairy tales came from Pulsatilla. There are many imaginations that she does for herself. Outer world is very cruel. Outer world is not safe. Such kind of imaginations are there. And similarly, she builds in a very fairy tale for her own life. Okay, when I get married, my husband will be like this, like that. In the college days, when you talk to your friends, when you're talking to your parents, you have some expectations happening. Okay, post your marital life. So she will have very wonderful imaginations, because of which she'll get disappointed. And Indians also support to such kind of imaginations, We should not be doing that. Fear of darkness, fear of ghosts, both are there. Why do they get ghost fear? There is a logical understanding for this. Whatever they read, whatever they see, if someone is dead, people will be talking, no? Okay, there is Garuda Purana, the soul will be revolving around the house and all. They will keep all such things very nicely in their mind. And whenever they are alone, they feel like, okay, someone is coming behind me, All that are imaginations, because of which they are both afraid of darkness and also ghost. Anything they study, they have that, ability to imagine the entire story in front of their eyes. Now, many kids do that, especially girl kids. They are reading a novel, they are watching a movie. It is highly impressionable to them. Any doubts still here? So now I can ask you, how will you find out pulsatilla? Hmm?
Already you're mapping.
That's how we remember. I had a textbook. I never used to show to anyone in Tapona my textbook, because we had 350 medicines to study for the exam. It was impossible for us to remember. So what I did, I took that textbook, I mapped for one person in that book. I never showed that book to anyone. See, nobody takes the positives of the medicine, but everyone will pick the negative of the medicine. Think I've written someone sulfur, no? They'll scold me. Yeah.
Madam, you know, it will be almost 3,000 vaccines.
4,500 medicines are there, sir.
How many medicines usually?
30.
30 are what?
30, you are perfect. You can treat anything you want. 30 medicines.
So all those 4,500 are formed by Samuel Hahnemann.
No.
Only
99 medicines he proved by himself. During his period, there were about 200 to 50 medicines which are completely cured proved till date. Today, why it has become 4,500 is from everything they are making medicine. For example, you say moon rays. There is a medicine called moon rays. There is a medicine from X-ray. And all these vaccines are coming, they're making medicines out of those vaccines also. But they are not completely proved. So whatever he has given, that understanding is, and a lot of specific medicines have come today. Now, for example, diabetes. Diabetes, from where it is caused? Pancreas. So pancreas, what is regulating pancreas? Your pituitary glands. There is a medicine called pituitrin. So there is a medicine called insulin. Now people are not getting into constitutional treatments. They're directly writing, okay, insulin, pituitrin, then thyroidinum. They're all specific medicines. So they don't have a personality. They only have a treatment. It is just like how the allopathic system of medicine are treating. You have like that. That is not useful, I will not say, but limited usage. But if we are going and understanding the root cause of a person, that clears the case, no? You know that lady is pulsatilla. Usually how pulsatillas will come to clinics, the first problem that happens to them is irregular periods. The system that gets disturbed in pulsatilla is the reproductive system. And pulsatilla, usually the girls, from the first cycle, they will have irregularities. Yes, sir.
On the lighter note, madam,
Yes, sir.
if you treat the root cause right, then it is lost forever.
No problem, sir. Root cause going away takes a lot of time, because we are, so strong with it. I used to wonder, I used to ask a lot of questions to Joshi uncle. Okay, for everyone who is getting angry, I'll give Naxomika, will the anger go? Everyone who is, very, what to say, sulfurs usually don't spend money. And I will go give everyone like that. Everything will become very neat. It's very difficult. The point is, we can give, but whether the person is willing to change is a very important question. If we have the complete cooperation of the patient, you can do anything in a very short time. Now they will agree everything. Okay, ma'am, I'll do all this. You go down and see somewhere there they'll be eating golgappa or pizza, something in the same road. They will not come and tell you that they have eaten, but they will say, ma'am, your medicine worked only for 2 days, after which it didn't work. You need to give me reasons, no? You can say, I had been out. Now, for example, we take Tirtham in the temple. It is Pachkarpura, camphor. So, camphor is a antidote for every possible medicine. You have taken medicine the previous night. Next day morning, you have gone and taken Tirtham. Gone, no medicine. Now I see many people putting that camphor sachet in lift, car. Every system will have. So what you should do is, if you have taken the constitutional medicine previous day, avoid taking that. See, we will not that I'm not telling every time you don't take, but at least that packet or dose, whatever would be given, no, next day don't take it. I see many people in the car, lift and all that new thing has come in a sack bag, camphor. You keep inhaling, no? How many ever medicines we give, it is waste. It will go away. That is why there is reputation going on now. Many will say modern homeopaths are not following the rules. It is not like that. But today the ways of neutralizing the medicines are too many. Your head is aching. You will drink 3 or 4 times coffee that particular day. Gone, no medicine. See, though medicine works at the very deep levels, it should not get disturbed. That is why only for one day we are asking you to be very strict with respect to diet. After which, when the body has assimilated, there is no problem. But the day you have taken the medicine, you do all these things, it doesn't work. About 12 to 15 yes here. Other things are very small ones. We will keep telling you randomly. See, for example, when I am taking Pulsatilla, I will come up with other medicines which are related to reproductive system. So like that you will have. I will clear off your questions that you sent in last class. So Pulsatilla physical, we will do it in the next week will be Shivratri. So we'll meet after that on 22nd. When was the last class?
Last month.
20? Okay. 18th Jan. After which we had one more class, no? Long weekend. You both attended online, no? You had come. 25th. 26th was Republic Day. 25th. You have those questions? I don't see them. Yeah. It's there in Telegram, sir.
Yeah.
What is the recommended dosage and concentration of the
Yeah. So it depends. First thing is whenever we are selecting the potency, no? So the general rule is whenever the problem is very physical, meaning there is a rash or there is a continuous vomiting, diarrhea, or when a kid has fallen down, there is a swelling, there is a broken bone, there is a muscle tear, anything that is relating to the physical change, 30 potency is recommended. Yes. Only only there is physical change. There is no mental change at all. Meaning the person is not showing any mental symptoms at that point in time. Like for example, someone is having loose motion continuously. Now our target is to stop the loose motion. So we will not deal with, okay, are you getting angry, that this and on, we are not going to deal. So all the acutes we start with 30 potency. Okay. $200 is when you have mental symptoms also, physical symptoms also being present there. Okay. 200. 1M is when the physical mental symptoms are very significant. 1M and above. Don't give anybody above 1M without asking. There is 10M, there is 50M.
Only mentally one.
Significantly, the problem is being caused because of a change in the mental plane. We go with 1M. See, they have a physical symptom, but this physical symptom is coming because there is a predominant emotion which the person is being disturbed about. Then we go for 1M. Now, for example, for a lady, okay, for 20-25 days, the bleeding is not stopping. If there are no mental causes to it, we give 30 potency. If there is a predominant mental cause because of which the bleeding is happening, then we give the same medicine in 1M.
200 means both physical and mental.
Yes, yes,
Only mental is one.
yes. After giving 200, if they are slightly better, but the case is not getting all right, then you come to 1M. It is the same rule. 30 you have given. Every time you give 30, the patient is getting better for few days. But the problem is not going completely. Then we repeat one dose of 200 of the same medicine. Okay, if same thing happens with 200, then we go to 1M.
What about the dosage? What is the potency?
This is potency. Frequency you are asking.
So, how it is
That is 6 pills.
6 pills. Okay.
6 to 10 pills for adults, 3 pills for kids. Infants only 1 pill. It is if in the form of pills. If you have dilution, okay. For adults it is 6 drops to 1 spoon of water. For kids about 5 to 13 years age, 3 drops to 1 spoon of water. Less than 3 years, it is only 1 drop to half spoon of water. If they are infants, they are not even taking water, then we give it with milk or mother's milk.
It is one time. That's one dosage.
It depends. See, now there is acute case. The fever is running very high. Then there can be possibility that we give medicine even hourly. So it depends on the intensity of the problem. Only in acutes we repeat more. In chronics we wait more. Now Naxomica you are giving for a person who is having constipation for last 10 years. Okay, you might give Naxomica 200 or 1M, but you need to wait a minimum for 7 to 15 days. You cannot repeat. Yes.
Higher symptoms, lower frequency.
It's chronic because it is there from 10 years. It is a chronic problem. No matter you repeat hourly once also, the problem is not going to get all right. But because they have taken too much of medication, today they have constipation, you can observe and repeat after 6 hours of time. Better to always wait 24 hours. Unless until it is an emergency case like someone is having a wheezing, someone is having diarrhea, someone is having continuous vomiting, raising temperature 100, 101, 103 like that. Depending on the intensity of the case, you have to repeat the dosing.
So, normal it's never like continuous medication, like how we have about the BP.
See, for example, 103 temperature if it is running, what we do, we take phenom for 6x, we dilute that in the water, and then we go on giving sips of water every 15 minutes once. That can be done. There is a medicine called Bacteria. Whenever you want to strike down the temperature that is rising, we give 1 dose of Bacteria. But that also you should see after 6 hours, is there a need to repeat any other medicine you have to give. See, the rules are unwantedly we don't give medicine. But the rules are not when the patient needs a medicine, you be without giving medicine. It is not like that. See, for example, I told about irregular cycles. Irregular cycles, how much medicine can you repeat? No point giving it daily. What can you give daily? Iron. That is FP. So you can ask them to take FP66 daily. But the constitutional medicine can be given either 14 days once or 28 days once. So depending on the problem, depending on the intensity, we need to decide the repetition and dosage.
So, I mean, for example, sugar tablets, right?
Sugar, even in homeo, we give daily dosage, but in mother tincture. Mother tinctures.
Okay.
There is something called mother tinctures. So that we give daily. For example, there is a medicine called Cyzicium jambolinum, which is specific for reducing the sugar levels. That is one way of giving. See, we can give only constitutional medicine and reduce sugar, but the patient has to promise us a very good diet and lifestyle. But it does not happen. So what we do, we ask them to take mother tinctures on daily basis. Then there is 1x tablets. Now, for example, you said hypertension. There is a medicine called Rauwolfia serpentina which comes in 1x. That is asked to take daily. Just one tablet. Very effective. You know, it can actually replace 2-3 medicines relating to cardiac to people. And this medicine you can stop at any point in time. So such medicines for sugar and BP, they're given on daily basis. Then we don't give 3200 1M and all. This is given as a constitution, that is given for the maintenance. But actually talking, if we give the right medicine, even that mother tincture and 1x are not required. But we are not able to, hit on that right thing. See, because there is a challenge from the transparency of the patient to us and limitation of our understanding about the patient's explanation. See, I go and tell someone, I feel very bad when two people fight. Okay, now what will be the understanding of the doctor? I forgot that point, that is there in Pulsatilla. Pulsatilla cannot see people fighting. They will do everything possible to stop their fight. So that's how, Pulsatillars become more sensitive when they come from a family where they see everyday people fighting, parents fighting, in-laws fighting. They don't like it, and they are too sensitive. They take it and they get into their own imaginations that, okay, tomorrow if I get married, my husband will hit me like this. And they get into a conclusion of, I don't want to marry, men are bad, world is cruel, and all these imaginations, no? That's how they get into.
For example, if the girl is having an irregular periods, and if we notice that it has come from the legacy of since her mother was also facing and grandmother was also facing. So, do we have any workaround for that to just to stop that?
We can, but first thing is, though our mother had, grandmother had, it is not triggering them at the same age, no? The mother would have got somewhere in 40s or 50s, but the daughter might have get in 20s and 30s. First thing is, we need to understand, okay, it is heredity, but we need to treat what is the cause for this girl getting that. So just because it is heredity, we don't have specific medicine. We can definitely stop for her daughter by clearing it off here. Now there is a medicine called carcinosin. Carcinosin will be by default given to the kids of those people who have cancer. So that works like vaccine. So it makes sure that these people are not put into the tendency of cancer. Like that it is there. For this problem also it will be there. But first thing is, we first clear out what is the problem with them, then give preventive for kids, not her.
Mostly, how does this food supplements can also treat it? For example, if we take a person purely of Naxon, there is one characteristic that he likes only the spice food. Along with the medicine, generally, do you people suggest the food?
We will suggest, they will not do. See, for a person who is eating,
do they are, I mean, they won't.
See, nuts like spice. It liked that hot, chili thing. So the problem was also relating to stomach. Now, for example, if you take pulsatilla, no, these people like bakery items like bread, cake, chocolates, ice cream. These they love it. Pulsatilla people, they love such kind of food. Here the problem comes cold, cough. Every time they eat a pastry, they will have cough. So the liking here is also for a softer, smoother kind of taste. Naxomika's liking was more for an inflammatory kind of taste. So that will be there. We should not tell them you reduce. You give medicine, they will only start reducing. Because the mind will always want to do what you say, don't do. They love curds. And curds will cause problem to pulsatilla. They love curds. Curd. You give them, rice curds, nothing else, they will eat. And every time they eat curds, they have a problem. Should the patient refrain from habits like coffee, alcohol, and spicy food of medicine is being taken? That's your second question, right? They should, but they will not. Should the patient refrain from habits like coffee, alcohol, and spicy food of medicine is being taken? Same question what she asked. Yes, they should, but they will not. So what you say is, at least on the day you are taking this particular medicine, please don't take anything, just take buttermilk and rice, you tell them. Let them do any medicine, yes.
Continue the question. Actually, for Natsumika character, he wanted to stop, but he could not. So how can he explain to that?
If they want to stop, yes, we can give them techniques. There are substitutes like if someone wants to reduce coffee, let's take an example of coffee. So there are many things like chocolate and other things which comes in coffee flavor. So drastically we cannot tell them that you stop drinking coffee. But what we say, instead of taking 5 times coffee, you divide the quantity of the coffee into 5 different times. Now, if someone is taking 100 ml 5 times, making it 500 ml, I would say you make it 50 ml, take 10 ml 5 times. See, nothing happens in one shot because it's a habit that we have formed. Now, that quantity we go on reducing, or the frequency we go on reducing. They will have to update every 14 days or 15 days. They will have to say if they are okay with that frequency and quantity. Then you go on reducing them little by little. By then, the mind also gets into a conclusion that okay, the body is not going to get this particular thing. Same with alcohol. If you ask someone to suddenly stop drinking, they will not stop. What you have to tell them is go on reducing the quantity for this month. Next month, go on reducing the frequency. Similarly with smoking. Similarly with any other kind of addictions.
One more question. The guy is very lazy. For that also we have techniques.
Yes. Yes, definitely we have techniques. For Naxomika, no, whenever you want to give some kind of techniques, you should understand what his mind wants. His mind just wants a work continuously. So if you ask Naxomika guy, you sit in silence for some time, you do pranayama, doesn't going to work. So they need to be put in alignment with respect to the work that they are doing. Now you give them a task. So this is what you please do a research about this or do something about this. Their mind will be occupied on it and diverted from something else. Now, for example, Pulsatilla. You ask her to do some brisk activity and other things she will not do. Instead, we introduce them to some nice novel or a book or a story which can give a positive vibes for her. So always whenever we are giving a technique is not generalized. We have to understand the nature of that person, and then a mother likes to cook. So for her the technique should be based on cooking, and that itself will become a therapy for her. So it is like that. Now, for example, a person who is very anxious, not able to, control his anxiety, we ask him to listen to the sound of Om. Lot of anxiety will come down. But an anxious person can listen, is it? So what we have to do unknowingly when that anxious person is there, you have to play that in the background. You should not tell him to do, but it should be being played in the background. Right. What other lifestyle changes must be suggested? Actually, when the patient comes first time, no, don't give them any suggestions. Let the medicine act upon them. The first time the medicine you give, it works. Then they have more confidence on you the next time. They'll be ready to listen, not at the first time. Should they take existing allopathic medicines? If they are on cardiac medicines, nervous system medicine, any other medicine which have been taking for a long time, yes, they continue the medicine. The gap between the allopathic medicine and homeopathic medicine should be 1 hour. And these medicines are not going to interact with the other medicine or cause any consequences. How soon can we notice that the drug is the right one and working effectively? If the intensity of the problem is high, you will know in minutes. If, for example, someone is going for loose motions, when you give medicine within 30 minutes, the frequency has to change. Now, if someone is having a problem for months together, you will know change in weeks together. Someone is having years together, you will know in months together the changes. But even after few days, whenever you give medicine first now, even if the disease is there, but the person is saying, I'm feeling okay, ma'am. I have temperature, but I am not feeling that sickness. Then make sure that your medicine is correct. But if the fever and all is gone, but the patient has become very tired, your medicine is wrong. So there are that rules I will tell you. There are 19 rules given by Kent. I will give that sheet to you. Any other doubt? Yes, yes. So usually many people come to homeopath saying, I've been taking thyroid medicines for a long time now, I want to discontinue and take homeopathy. That point in time, don't drastically stop their medicine. Like how we spoke about habits, no? Like that only their medicine also have to, taper down. And many medicines like convulsions medicine, we should not be stopping. When we start treating them, we should go back to the follow-up to their own doctor. When the doctor sees a change in them, they themselves will reduce the dosage. I do that with all systems. Someone has come with, eye problem. We send them back to their own eye specialist. So when they check and then you are much better, you stop this. It is convenient job for us. Yes. It works slow. See, now many people come and ask for habits. My husband is drinking, my husband is smoking. We will have to give unknowingly to them. So it takes more time for them to, be fruitful of what we are giving actually. But if the patient themselves come and say, ma'am, I am not able to let go of this, please help me, then it is a little more helpful to us. And whenever someone does not want to take homeopathy, don't give them. Don't give them. You can only suggest. There is a system called like this. There are medicines for all kinds of. If you want to try, you let me know. If they come back and tell, you give them. Don't force. See, kids are different. Kids do not know. But someone who is elder to us, someone who is knowledge, more of knowledge, don't force them and give. See, homeopathy purely works on energy. Someone does not have a receiving energy, it will not work. But if they are like, okay, I've tried everything, I'll try this also and come, then we give it works. But forcefully it does not work. See, our mind is the biggest medicine. It can obstruct, it can give way. So anything, see, when you are eating in one place, you get a thought that this place is not nice. Definitely, you're sure to have a stomach problem. But you're sitting in the most dirty place, but you still feel nothing will happen, and you eat that with that attitude. Nothing is going to happen to you. And many times you go to five-star hotel and eat, you get problems. See, it is not the food; it is the attitude. There is a story, someone comes and announces that in the food there was a dead lizard. Then everyone comes down with diarrhea and vomiting. Then again, someone comes and says, no, no, that was not there. Suddenly, people will be all right. Now, what is causing the diarrhea? Is our mind causing or the lizard causing? See, many times unknowingly, even in the house, some hair, something will go. What we do, we don't let people get to know that something like this has happened. The moment you get to know, problem starts. So what is working there? This will work according to this. People are forgetting that. They're concentrating only on stomach, saying eat healthy, do this, and you think unwanted here, no protein shakes, nothing will help. So this education has to come back to people saying also about the physical, but more of the mind. Shall we close?
Last thing on the repetition during the failures of reading.
I did. I'll send you by side. Huh? Any question? Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति 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 We will next deal with the physical symptoms of pulsatilla and start the mind of chamomile.